We have another week of reading ahead of us, and I am sort of timing this with after I finished the book I wanted to finish last week. I'm Quinn Moon, I write Korean fairy tales, and this is what I'll be reading this week. I finally finished The Trojan War, A New History by Barry Strauss. I just finished this maybe 5 minutes ago. It is way too late for this update. It was so fun. It was probably one of the most useful Trojan War books that I own. Barry Strauss wasn't afraid to say that, no, they really weren't all that. They were more like marauders. And I really liked kind of the reality checks of this is what Homer says happened. This is historical context that we have written from the Hittite Empire or the Egyptian Empire of what could have actually happened. And sometimes it's pretty spot on. So it was very surprising to see Homer wasn't full of hot air. Like he kind of knew what he was talking about. And I really enjoyed this book. This book, unlike others, also treats the Trojan War characters, Achilles, Hector, Patroclus, Priam, Hecuba, Helen, the whole lot, treats them as real characters where others do not. They treat them as sort of archetypes. This book says we are assuming they're real, we're assuming Homer is correct, but we are going to call kind of BS on the whole wooden horse situation. Odysseus, though, was probably the real deal. So it was really refreshing to see that this author took the Iliad as an actual historical text, and it was really fun to trace what these guys probably were historically like. And yeah, maybe they weren't real. In fact, Achilles and Patroclus were probably completely made up by Homer. That's a different story. But it was really fun, and I really am glad that I finished this finally. Well worth the wait. I should have gotten to it sooner. The other book that I'll be reading, The Iliad. Can you see it? The Iliad, translated by Emily Wilson. I will be reading the next 250 pages, which will put me roughly book 18, Divine Armor. We're going to get through the death of Patroclus, which is going to be awful. I will be reading the next 250 pages in the next week. I will not switch books until I finish 250 pages of this, so hopefully I can get through this in the next week. So this is what I'll be reading this week. I already finished. What will you be reading this week?